Hey everybody, welcome back to another weekly wellness update. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. I don't spend a lot of time, actually I spend very little time responding to negative comments that I get on my YouTube channel and on social media in general. I've been on YouTube for a really long time now, and I have found that that is typically a waste of my time, and it doesn't really change anybody's mind. The negative comments don't typically change my mind on things, and when I respond back, I don't typically change anybody else's mind, and so I don't make a habit of doing that. But there's this category of comment that I have been getting a lot more recently since I have changed up my diet and my macronutrients amount. And it is also a type of comment that I see on a lot of other people's channels, people that have also changed up their macronutrient amounts in their diet. And so I thought we would chat about that just a little bit, and I'd share my thoughts on this general type of comment. So this video is not personally directed at any specific person or comment, but just kind of the category of comment. Our chat today is sponsored by Element. Element is my favorite electrolyte supplement. I have been using it for quite some time now, I think over 2 years now, and it continues to be my favorite. I do not get tired of it. It tastes so delicious. The grapefruit salt is my favorite flavor. And I have this box sitting up here where I often film videos so that I can show it on the videos. But this is also my exercise room. And so I have found that I keep dipping into it when I'm exercising and I need a refill on my water bottle. So I'm using up my box that I use to show in my Element spots. Element comes in these really handy little packets. They're single serve, so it's really convenient. Very easy to throw into any pocket of your purse or bag or whatever. And they each have a science-backed ratio of electrolytes, 1,000 milligrams of sodium, 200 milligrams of potassium, and 60 milligrams of magnesium. I absolutely love having this during my workouts. It is very refreshing and makes me feel great. So Element has a special deal for all of my viewers. You can get a sample pack where it has 8 of these little sticks in different flavors for you to try out. You can get it free by using my link, drinkelement.com/indigo, drinklmnt.com/indigo. Click that link and then place an order on the website for anything, either the powdered drink mixes or the sparkling element, and then you will automatically get the free sample pack added to your order. So thank you to Element for sponsoring our chat today. Okay, now let's get into these comments. So I have 2 comments that I have gotten recently, and I'll just read them to give you the general idea of this type of comment. But again, this video is not directed specifically towards these people. It's just in general, people that have this kind of idea. So the first comment it was on one of my wellness videos where I talked about changing my diet and adding more carbs to my life, going from a keto diet of 20 to 50 carbs to 100 to 200 grams of carbs per day. And the comment says, "Just a little, I can control it, I deserve it, sounds like addicts of another substance, but hey, be happy." Okay, and then this next one was just on a what I eat in a day video, where I was kind of showing what my new diet is like with having 100 to 200 grams of carbs per day in it. And it's just a really simple comment that says, "Sounds like you are still carb addicted." So that should give you the idea of the kind of comments that I am referring to. And I see these comments come along to lots of different people, definitely not just me, who decide that having a few more carbs in their diet is a good choice. I know that Jonathan Shane of the Keto Road deals with this kind of thing. He really held my hand during the process of going from very low carb to a little, it's still low-ish carb, but a little more moderate carb. So the gist of these comments is basically, if you decide to add more carbs to your diet, you are still addicted to carbs and you're just trying to find ways to justify having carbs. The mentality behind that kind of comment, I think, really has to come down to a worldview or a nutritional understanding that carbs are inherently bad and that they are on par to some kind of external addictive substance, something like heroin or cocaine. And so if that is the worldview you're coming from, I totally get the response when you see someone who hasn't had carbs or a lot of carbs in their diet, adding carbs back in. If you saw someone that wasn't having heroin and then decided to add a little bit of heroin back in, maybe you'd say, oh, I think you might have a problem with heroin. So that's the worldview that I think is behind this comment. I personally don't have that worldview, and there have definitely been times in my life where I've toyed with that idea of, oh, maybe plants are bad, maybe carbs are bad, maybe it would be better if we all just were carnivore, maybe that is the optimum diet. I can't say that I ever said that on videos or tried to encourage anybody on my video that was watching my videos to do that. But I definitely I was kind of like leaning that direction. Like I was seeing the influence, being influenced by different carnivores that I really, love and respect. And I kind of had that, I was like, oh, maybe this is it. And I took steps to become more carnivore, including a 90-day full carnivore challenge and things like that. And just having my diet to be more carnivore. Over the last couple of years, my thoughts and worldview have really changed, mainly because of my experience. It wasn't that all of a sudden I got handed a pile of evidence from some other source saying what you believed about carbs was wrong, and here's the truth. And I was like, okay, well, I'm convinced because of all of this scientific data. It was that I experienced unhealth, and I have experienced health after adding carbs in. It's something that I couldn't argue with, where I'm like, well, I'm healthier now and I'm eating 100 to 200 grams of carbs, and I see all of these benefits that I'm having while I'm eating these 100 to 200 grams of carbs, and I can't just ignore that and say, no, because of this belief that I held before that must be true because XYZ, therefore I'm going to ignore these results right in front of me. So I don't have that worldview anymore. I don't share that. So when someone comes to me and says, carbs are heroin and you're addicted to carbs, my first thought is, I don't think carbs are heroin. So we fundamentally disagree on like a foundational issue. So we really can't come to any kind of agreement until we, find an agreement on that issue. And I'm just not in that same place. Also, something that comes along with the accusation of addiction is that there is some inherent damage being done. I could say maybe I'm addicted to hugging my children because I love it so much. And if I had to stop hugging my children, I would be really sad. I would have all kinds of emotional and probably physical responses if someone were to say, cut off right now, you're not allowed to hug your children anymore. You could call that an addiction, except that there's no negative happening because of me hugging my children. I know a lot of carnivores who would have some really serious emotional and maybe physical responses if they no longer were able to consume beef. We could say that they're addicted to beef because they couldn't just give it up and have it be easy. But there's as far as we know, no negative consequences to consuming beef. So we wouldn't really call that an addiction, I don't think. So this is another area where there's a fundamental disagreement. And those that have the idea that carbs are inherently bad, inherently damaging, they would maybe say that this is something that is damaging your body and your life, and you are choosing to consume it, therefore it's an addiction. That is a perspective that someone could have. Again, I don't currently have that perspective, especially because of the amount of health increase that I have seen since adding carbs to my diet. And obviously there's all kinds of variables, and I've done a lot more than just add carbs to my diet. But from what I see, I think I have experienced a lot of health benefit from adding carbs to my diet. So I'm just not on the same page with, I know it's damaging to me, but I just can't give it up. I'm doing something that I enjoy. I do enjoy eating the whole food carbs that I do get to enjoy, but I don't see the negatives of it. I have only seen health benefit from adding the carbs I have added. Now, there is a little bit of an accusation in these comments that I'm not controlling it or I'm letting it rule my life. Like I'm saying, oh, I can have just a little bit and I can control it. But then what you don't see is the binging on the Krispy Kreme donuts and the Ben & Jerry's ice cream and sleeves of Oreos that is assumed to happen because carbs are carbs. And if you eat a blueberry, it's going to make you eat XYZ processed food. That's an accusation that can be made, and you guys don't see 99.9% of my life, but I prefer it that way. So it could be that I am going out and binging on all kinds of ultra processed foods when the camera is off. I can tell you here that I'm not. That is not something that I am struggling with or doing. But again, you don't have a 24/7 camera on me, so you can't know that for sure. So if you want to assume those things about me, you definitely can, and I'm sure people do. I will say that where I'm at now with carbs, and it has been a journey from being keto to where I am now, it's been about a year. And it hasn't just been smooth sailing the entire year. There's definitely been things I've had to learn. And Jonathan Shane, again, really helped hold my hand through this process because it is a really big change, both physically and mentally. But where I am currently now, I feel more in control of my eating than maybe that I ever have. I definitely feel more in control than I did on keto. And on keto, I feel like you have the safety of just cutting everything out. And there's a sense of control that you get from that. And that is a way that a lot of people do choose to control their eating, is just say 100% no to this category of foods. And depending on where you're at in your journey, that is totally reasonable and something that I have used myself and that has been beneficial to me. But what I have found now, having healed my gut and come to a better place, with body image issues and things like that, I feel like I am in control of what I eat, and I don't have to cut out of a whole category of food. I can consume some of, I could consume some of anything, I feel like, and I just don't have that knee-jerk reaction to binge on something. There's something about the scarcity of a food that I think contributed to me wanting to overeat it when I got one taste of it, kind of like that one trigger taste that, then you're off the rails. I experienced that because I was cutting out the whole category of carbohydrates. And now that I have a baseline, my body is used to having carbohydrates. My body is comfortable with consuming a certain amount of carbohydrates per day. When I have a taste of something with carbohydrates, I'm like, I don't need to go eat all of that. My body is perfectly secure in what I'm giving it and what its baseline is. So for myself, the most I've ever had addict type behavior around different foods, those were the times where I was restricting the most. I remember being on a super low calorie diet years and years ago and being so hungry. And all I wanted was peanut butter. And it was one of those like nail biting things where I was like, no, I'm not going to eat the peanut butter. I'm going to eat the peanut butter. No, I'm not going to eat the peanut butter. And finally I was like, I'm going to measure out like 1 tablespoon of peanut butter. It'll be fine. And as soon as I took one bite, it was like I couldn't stop. And I ate so much peanut butter. And the way that my body is right now, I have no desire to do that, first of all. I consume peanut butter here and there, but it's a pretty small part of my diet. And it would make me sick to consume the amount of peanut butter that I consumed back then because of the state that my body was in. But that reaction that I had back then would probably be considered some kind of an addict behavior. One bite and then you can't stop, going off the rails, falling off the wagon. Those are all, like addict phrases. I've also found that for me personally, the restriction of carbs down to that 20 to 50 gram mark contributes to my addict behavior of, having one bite and then not being able to stop. So for me, there's a direct correlation between the restriction of carbohydrates specifically, but then also calories as a whole or food intake as a whole that contributes to any kind of like addict type behavior with carbs or any food. So observing myself now eating the way that I eat, I don't see addict behavior, which is, a really amazing place to be. And I am enjoying it thoroughly. Okay, last thing that I'll say about this whole carb addict accusation. And I want to preface it by saying I have friends that are carnivores, and I don't think all carnivores are the same. And there are some extremely kind and gracious and loving carnivores, a lot of them, probably more than the ones that are unkind or accusatory. The ones that are unkind and accusatory often are just louder, I think. So what I'm going to say does not apply to all carnivores, but there is, I think, a moderate to large subset of carnivores who have this mentality. So this subset of carnivores will say that carbs are so delicious and addictive that we can't even touch a bite. One bite and it'll be the trigger. You can't even have something that tastes sweet like stevia or allulose because that is going to trigger this addictive, I have to eat it all mentality. So I'm going to say carbs are so addictive to me that I can't even touch them or I will go off the rails. And it's those people that will go to other people who are eating a moderate amount of carbs, not going off the rails, and they will call them addicts. Imagine this with alcohol, where someone who is an alcoholic, they say, I'm an alcoholic. Alcohol is so attractive to me that I can't even take a sip or I will be on a week-long bender. Imagine that person going to someone who moderates alcohol and has a couple drinks a week and calls them an addict. It really, when you look at it logically, it just doesn't make sense. And so when I get those kinds of comments, I just kind of laugh to myself, wait a second, who's the addict here?